Hey, it's Michael Serio from Bonfire outside tonight at Milkboy, 11th Chestnut in Philadelphia, where we'll speak to Adam from the very cool band Ex Ambassadors. Where does the name Ex Ambassadors come from?
Before Ex Ambassadors, we were ambassadors for probably 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
And, we worked a lot. We toured under that name and recorded our first EP under that name and really spent a lot of time promoting ourselves under that name. And when we got some label attention and finally signed to Interscope, they, have lots of a big legal team and copyright team who goes and checks these things out, and we of course didn't know that there were all these other acts operating as ambassadors, and so we had the option of kind of fighting it and trying to go reach out to all these people and get their okay,
right,
or just changing it, and we wanted to keep it similar enough that it would be recognizable to the people that have heard of us, so that we didn't change it to something completely new, so that we still had some name recognition. And so Ex Ambassadors was kind of what we felt the best option.
Right. So it's like we could spend a bunch in legal fees, or we could put an X in front of it.
Yeah, exactly. And we all kind of liked how it looked and sounded, and there, pretty much any combination of words with ambassadors before or after we tried.
So at this point in the legend of Ex Ambassadors, are you guys vanning it from city to city?
Oh, yeah. No, we have no tour buses or anything. We're in a 15-passenger van pulling a trailer.
What do you do to pass the time when you guys are going from city to city?
We all have our laptops, and I think a lot of it is being stuck on the road. It's forced me to get a lot better at just recording on my laptop, and I know it's been the same for everyone else. So we all work on music a lot. We all have movies that we download, music to listen to, and just the regular stuff. I have a little Game Boy that I play with to pass the time. Yeah. It gets boring when you have 10-hour drives every day for 2 months. You run out of TV shows and movies really fast.
Sure, I'm sure. Yeah. What do you play on Game Boy?
I'm playing Zelda right now, and it's amazing. It's actually so difficult that it's embarrassing.
Zelda was one of those games where when the whole Nintendo thing happened, that was the one I always felt like I avoided because it was tough. Like, you had to keep looking in little caves and doing things.
No, I was like, I feel, obviously the Zelda market is not like a 26-year-old man like myself, but I literally I have to go online to figure things out.
Really? Are you looking up cheat codes?
Yeah, I am. Not cheat codes, but walkthroughs and stuff. 'Cause it's really that hard, but that's good. Because I've had the same Zelda game for 2 months.
Good.
And I don't play it every day, but that's one of the things we do to pass the time.
The band, I was reading up on kind of the history of Ex Ambassadors today. Now, you were the last one to join kind of this collective. I mean, there's two brothers in the band.
Yeah.
And then another guy that was Noah, who's been with them forever. And then you were the last addition.
I was the last addition in college. We all met in the freshman dorms in 2006. So, I'm the newest addition of 8 years or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, so the three guys, Sam and Casey, are brothers. Noah met them in kindergarten, and when they all hit middle school and wanted to play music, they kind of learned their instruments together. And I was kind of doing the same thing in LA, where I grew up. They grew up in Ithaca, New York.
Okay.
I grew up in Los Angeles. And so I was doing the same thing with my childhood friends. And then when we all moved out for college, they kind of moved to New York wanting to pursue music, but of course we're in college kind of as because not as an excuse, but just as a way to be in New York and furthering their education while also doing the band thing. But it's really cool that the band thing's kind of taken off, so that we don't have to fall back on our various college degrees.
What was the college degree? What did you go to school for?
I was a biology major. Noah, the guitar player, was an education studies major, and Sam was a drama major. And Casey's blind and went to a school for the blind, where it's kind of like a trade school where he learned how to tune pianos. So he's a piano tuner.
So you currently have a biology degree?
I do, yeah.
So, on the side you could
Teach middle school or something terrible that I never want to do. Yeah.
Can you imagine playing all these huge shows and then on the side you just go cut up some frauds with some kids?
Yeah, I know. I was saying to, I think Sam and I were talking about it, how you could totally make like not even reality show, but just like a sitcom or movie about our lives. Because it's like we go from playing like arenas with Imagine Dragons to 20,000 people, and then the next day, we're all driving home and poor and struggling and blah blah blah. And it's just this crazy, like, we're living our dreams and it's all happening for us at some level, but at the same time we're still struggling. And it's like even when you're the biggest band in the world, you still are just struggling in the sense that you're trying to keep your spot up there.
Sure.
And then when you're not there, you're just trying to get there. So as you are in the business longer, you realize that it really never ends, and that probably the more successful you are, the harder and more stressful,
to stay up there,
harder you have to work. And
well, that's why you could have like this whole Clark Kent thing going on, where you're slicing frauds during the day, and then being a rock star.
Yes. Rip off my street clothes and have my rock star clothes underneath, but.